Brussels.
Oh!
It's in Belgium.
אוקיי, נייס. האורחים שלנו הפעם הם נגן החצוצרה הבינלאומי סרגי נקריאקוב, ואיתו נגנית הפסנתר, הפסנתרנית מריה מאירוביץ'. שלום סרגי, שלום מריה.
שלום.
סרגי, תגיד לי, איך העברית שלך?
זה לא משהו.
לא משהו. מריה.
זה משהו, קצת מאוד.
קצת מאוד. סרגי עלה ארצה בן 14, ואני אספר את הסיפור הזה בעברית, אתה בטח תבין אותו, שכל העולים מרוסיה אמרו שלכל אחד יש ביד נרתיק של כינור, ואם אין לו נרתיק של כינור, סימן שהוא פסנתרנית. ואתה באת עם נרתיק של חצוצרה. Are there many newcomers with a trumpet case?
It's true that trumpet is not as popular as, let's say, violin on piano or singing or some other instruments, but I have to say that few trumpet players came from Russia, immigrated to Israel, and some of them are very talented, I have to say, and represent Israel on the international scene.
Tell me, do you think that trumpet is a Jewish instrument?
It's in the Old Testament, in the Torah, so therefore it has to be.
It has to be. But you know, we take the big heroes of the trumpet, Maurice André, or jazz players, Satchmo, or Miles Davis. I don't see many Jewish names.
I have to say, I'm not particularly sure about Maurice André, but Armstrong was raised in a Jewish family.
I see.
And which I discovered myself recently. And one of the greatest trumpet players, my hero, Timofey Dokshitzer, who lived in Soviet Union, and he's the greatest for me, and was and still is my inspiration.
Tell me about the Russian school of trumpet playing.
To be honest, I don't like the expression to school of trumpet playing, because after all, every teacher, this is my personal opinion, teaches his own way. So every teacher has his own school, I suppose.
I understand that your father was, or is still, your teacher, or?
I consider him my teacher, my main teacher, even though he was never a professional trumpet player, but he taught me everything I know.
And this is maybe one among many reasons that your repertoire includes many compositions which are not written originally for the trumpet.
Maybe this is the reason. My father has transcribed for me many works written for other instruments, violin, cello, bassoon, oboe, and a few other.
Viola?
Viola as well.
You are going to play the Fantasiestücke by Schumann, which is either clarinet or viola.
Or cello.
Oh, cello. Okay. Maria, lucky you.
It's
because
true.
If he played only the trumpet repertoire, you will have to do a lot of oompa-oompa.
Yes, exactly. This is.
But he plays Schumann Fantasiestücke.
Yes.
Is there any change in the piano part?
No, there is no change. There are some things that I've taken from repetition, so I play it myself. It's more work for me. It's more pleasant for me to play, honestly.
So one can say that actually the Schumann version that you play is 50% original. She plays the original part and you play the arrangement from either viola or clarinet.
It is very close to the original.
Very close, yes.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sergei. Thank you, Masha. Sergei, you might hate my question, but I'm still asking it. You played it so marvelously, like you don't want to acknowledge the limitation of your instrument.
I just enjoy music, and I'm enjoying playing with Masha, and you know, we like to play together, and this just happens naturally.
I will elaborate. This composition was written by Schumann for the most romantic instruments, and this is the most romantic, the most possible romantic music in the world. And here you take the trumpet. The trumpet is a romantic instrument.
It can be very romantic, and by the way, this is a flugelhorn, which might be even more romantic in some ways, has a more mellow tone, as you could compare. So I think it depends totally on the player.
And I cannot agree more with you. When you take this flugelhorn in your hands, you play Schumann in the most romantic, expressive way. Incredible. You know, actually, every pianist who plays Chopin does not recognize the limitation of the piano. Just make the piano sing and not being a percussive instrument. Tell me, what you need to be a good trumpet player?
I think it's the same as for any other instrument. The basics, technical, should stay at home, and what's the most important is the musical part. So a musician, there are many good trumpet players, but maybe much less good musicians playing trumpet.
What is embouchure?
Embouchure
Yeah.
is our lips, basically.
Okay. I suppose you need good lips as well. And good lungs. Okay. Third movement from the Fantasiestücke. תודה רבה משה, תודה רבה סרגי. So, you made Aliyah at 14, and then what happened?
Then I continued taking lessons with my father, and I was invited to play at several big festivals in Europe. It was Salzburg Festival and Bad Wörishofen Festival of Ivo Pogorelic. And I was taking there, was invited to play there by Maestro Sondeckis, who is one of my closest musical friends. And
I can see that you were invited to play also with Maestro Ashkenazi.
That was some years after that.
I see. And you served shortly in the army.
That's correct. I did it when I was 20 years old. I think that was in 97. I was 3 months at the army.
Wow. Such a young man, an accomplished military service, and accomplished playing with Ashkenazi. I can see that most of your repertoire includes works that were not originally composed for the trumpet, as we mentioned before.
There are many arrangements by my father. There is one disc with only vocal music, which I did with my sister, and last August we made a recording together with Masha, which also includes some arrangements, pieces by Kressler. We recorded Kol Nidre by Bruch also, and Paganini, Elgar, and some other pieces.
And
as well.
I saw compositions that looks unplayable on the trumpet, like Saint-Saëns' Rondo Capriccioso introduction. And Rondo Capriccioso, can you really play it on the trumpet?
It is possible. It took me a lot of practice to prepare it, but under the supervision of my father. Well, we did it together, I have to say.
And among your many achievements was a performance with Yevgeny Kissin, who is considered today as the best young pianist, the best of the younger generation. And let us watch the DVD. Wow, what a performance. How old were you?
I was, I believe, 13 years old, and Zhenya was 18.
Zhenya is Kissin.
Kissin, yes, correct.
Is he a nice boy?
At that time, we didn't really talk a lot together, but a few years ago, we had a chance to speak more.
Yeah, he apparently doesn't talk a lot together with anybody, or?
Well, I suppose he talks with his close friends.
Oh, yeah, okay. And now we are moving to Bet Anasi, where you were welcomed by President Herzog.
אני רוצה להזמין את החצוצרן הצעיר, סרגי נוקוריאקוב, ואחותו אווה. סרגי, בבקשה. בבקשה, פז'לסטו.
Bravo, Sergei, well done, maladiet, so wonderful. וזה היה גם כל כך מרגש לראות את הכל בבית הנשיא הרצוג. The last piece is by Arban. It is variations on Norma by Bellini. We know Norma, we know Bellini, but who is Arban? I suppose he's one of the trumpet heroes.
Arban was a famous cornetist, French cornetist in 19th century, and he wrote many famous pieces for trumpet, variations based on opera themes. And he also wrote a famous book, like almost a Bible for all the trumpet players. So he's a very important figure in trumpet literature.
And I'll cope with my new job as a page turner. החצוצרה היא כלי עתיק יומין, עוד מתקופת המקרא. ובמקרא מבחינים בין תקיעה לבין תרועה. יש מקומות שאפשר גם לתקוע וגם להשמיע תרועה, ויש מקומות שרק תקיעה. אני חושב שמה שסרגי עושה, ואיתו מריה, זה לא רק תקיעה ולא תרועה, אלא עשיית מוזיקה, לקיחת החצוצרה והשימוש בה ככלי מוזיקלי נפלא לכל דבר. הרבה תודה לכם, סרגי ומריה. תודה רבה.
תודה.